Hey there, Orlando Batista here. I'm just using an old camera just to do a little video here on what's going on in my house. I did a little video sort of like this before, but just wanted to give you a little bit of a rundown on all the mechanical stuff that I've got going on here that I use from day to day, and I'll give you a bit of an idea as to what's going on in my kitchen right now, food-wise, and all that sort of good stuff. Anyway, just before I forget as well, working away at getting the getfrickinfit.com blog up. Hopefully it'll be up pretty soon, coming your way. So but don't forget at the end of this video to go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I would greatly appreciate that. Alright, so I'm just going to turn this camera around and let's get started. So here we are. First thing, this is the parking lot on my kitchen counter. I've got a Blend-Tech. I won't get too close here, you won't be able to see. That's the Blend-Tech right there. I got a Vitamix right here. I've got a Omega juicer. This juicer I use mainly for greens. It does a bunch of other stuff, fruits and stuff like that, but it doesn't do soft juicy fruits or anything like that. It's terrible actually for that. Then I've got a different Omega Vert here, and this one I use mainly for soft juices, or for soft fruits, that is. It's not as good for vegetables. It does do it, but not as effectively as the Omega. This one right here. You know, a bunch of different containers and stuff like that for smoothies. I just actually made up a macadamia nut cheese here. I'll show you that when we get down to the dehydrators. Yeah, so we'll just move on from here. I'm going to give you a complete rundown of what's going on in my house. So this is my stove. Actually, I won't turn it around, or else you won't. It'll mess it up when I post it. I got a double stove here. Unfortunately, my family's still eating a lot of cooked food, and so we use it. We do use it, and I store a lot of stuff actually on the bottom part of the oven. That's where I keep a lot of my strainers, etc. And then you'll see the big squash right here. Sorry, this is a pretty active house, active kitchen, so I'm not claiming to be spotless all the time. There's always stuff going on here in my kitchen. So we've got some squash. Just show you right here. This is my breakfast right now. It's about 2-3 pounds of watermelon, about 2-3 pounds of mangoes. You can't really see them, but this sort of gives you an idea as to how big they are in reference to my hand. They're pretty massive. Actually, this one I think might even be bigger. Those are some dehydrator trays right there, and some big pots. These pots, just for the record, are a titanium stainless steel pot. They're surgical stainless steel, so they're pretty pricey, but it's what I use for just about everything. No aluminums or anything like that. Quickly, just give you a quick view of what's happening here on my stash. Got some Ortulfo mangoes, more of these babies right here. You'll see these mangoes. Got some bananas that are just ripe, perfect for eating, and then these brilliant delicata squash. Got to get your hands on these. This is one of the few things that I eat cooked, because I'm not a big fan of squashes and stuff like that raw, so I throw these in the oven, and absolutely divine. And you'll see a couple of the other big. Look at the size of these babies. Hang on, look at that. Can't even show it to you, it's just so massive. Anyway, family loves squash, so we'll cook those up later. Alright, let me see what's going on here. I'm just going to put this on pause. Oh, just really quickly, I'll show you. Got my box of coconuts here. I need to use these up today and cut out the meat, and I'll probably make a chocolate pudding for my family with those, and I do eat a little bit of chocolate pudding from time to time. And that's about it. That's all that's happening up here in the kitchen. I'm going to take you downstairs. Actually, just really quickly before I do that, you can sort of get a bit of an idea as to what's happening here inside my kitchen cupboards. I got my food processor up in there. It's a big Omega food processor, and everything else is pretty much in glass jars, as you can see. little storage containers. Nothing stays inside of plastic. These are basically sun-dried tomatoes, nuts, seeds, flax, that type of stuff. And then you just sort of see up in here, I got my spiralizer. There's some corn cereal for my kids and some coconut milk up top there. Anyway, you got to do the best you can with your kids. It's a bit of a difficult challenge when you have kids and they're subjected to the schooling system and, you know, seeing what other kids are eating. Got to do the best you can. If it was up to me, I'd have them 100% raw and on a high carb, low fat diet. You know, I do the best I can. They eat really, really well, better than any kids that I know, and probably eat about, I'd say maybe 80-85% raw. So they're doing pretty awesome. All right, I'm going to shut this down, go downstairs, and we'll get started from there. All right, talk to you in a few minutes. Alrighty, back again. Downstairs in my basement. Bit of a mess down here, but this is where I store a lot of my extra fruit. You'll see I got a couple of watermelons down here. Some more mangoes. Got a box of oranges here. Valencia oranges, big juicy Valencia oranges. These are awesome. And I got some apples over here in the corner. Unfortunately, I was only able to get this big box of apples from the wholesaler in plastic bags, but that's all I got. I got a bunch of dried spices here. This is a mesquite spice, a sweet mesquite seasoning from Kirkland. I don't usually do conventional type seasonings, but this stuff is just absolutely brilliant. If you can grab a peek of it, I don't know if you can see that. But anyway, absolutely amazing stuff. So I got my dehydrators over here. I got one here, another one down here. I don't really use them a lot. I do make some things with them. I'll show you what I got going right now. It's going to get a little noisy, but I got some pizza crust here made with buckwheat, carrot, and some mesquite seasoning. What else do I got in there? A bunch of spices and all that sort of stuff. I'll be doing a video eventually on that as well. And right here you got some you have some macadamia cheese. This stuff is just incredible. It's just so yummy. Again, don't eat too much of this, but from time to time I make it up for myself and for my family. I used to have a raw food restaurant years ago, so all this gourmet stuff is still pretty tasty to me. So anyway, this is macadamia nut cheese. Inside of it, you've got macadamia nuts, lemon. I put some nutritional yeast. This also has some mesquite seasoning in it, and a little tiny bit of salt. Again, that's another thing that I don't use too much of is salt. So, but you know, you got to know what you can handle and what you can't. I can't consume too much salt myself because it's I can't begin to tell you. My throat gets a little bit raw if I consume too much of it, and I feel all sort of bloaty and watery. So I don't do too much of it at all. So anyway, just moving forward, just really quickly here. Last thing, I got a couple of refrigerators down here in my basement. This is where I store a lot of extra stuff. Right now, running low on goodies. You can see I just have some celery in there and a few cucumbers, and I have some more grapes and cucumbers down here, and I'll be stocking up a little bit more here over the next couple of few days. So anyway, that's about it for now. You've seen my machinery and you've seen what I've got going on here in terms of food currently. And yeah, tonight I'll be having some pizza crusts, and I'll make up a nice tomato, red pepper, a few olives. It's going to be a relatively high-fat meal today, which I don't do very often, but every once in a while I go down that road. So anyway, feeling great, and that's about it. So this is Orlando Batista signing off from, oh, and don't forget, when all else fails, you gotta get frickin' fit. All right, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube page. Really appreciate it. Leave some comments below if you like the video. Don't forget to hit the like button, and that's it for now. Have a great day. See you later.